Are you ready for the unexpected? Here we go. Number 7, playing dead to escape a bear. This is a classic myth. You're hiking, you see a bear, and your first thought is to drop to the ground and play dead. Hollywood has taught us that this is a smart move. The idea is that the bear will see you as a non-threat and just wander away. Here's the massive problem with this. There are different types of bears, and they act completely differently. If you play dead with the wrong kind of bear, you're just presenting yourself as a helpless meal. Most people don't know the difference between a grizzly bear and a black bear. A grizzly bear might attack you defensively. In that rare case, playing dead might work because it signals you're not a threat. But a black bear... A black bear sees you as prey. If you play dead with a black bear, it's game over. You've just made its job a lot easier. The real deal. What you should do depends on the bear. For a black bear, you need to make yourself look big and loud. Make noise, yell, and fight back if it attacks. Never turn your back and run, as that can trigger its predatory instincts. For a grizzly bear, you should stand your ground, talk to it calmly, and back away slowly. If it charges, playing dead is your last resort. But honestly, the best advice is to avoid a bear encounter in the first place. Number 6, drinking your own urine to survive dehydration. This one is probably the most disgusting survival myth, and it's also one of the most dangerous. People think that because urine is mostly water, you can drink it in an emergency to stay hydrated. Bear Grylls made this famous, but it's a terrible, terrible idea. Your body produces urine for one reason: to get rid of waste. It's full of salts, minerals, and other byproducts that your kidneys have filtered out of your blood. When you drink your own urine, you're just putting all that waste right back into your system. This forces your kidneys to work overtime to filter it all out again. It's like asking your body to clean up the same mess twice. This process actually makes you more dehydrated. Your body needs water to flush out those salts and minerals. By drinking your urine, you're creating a cycle of increasingly concentrated waste that puts a huge strain on your kidneys. You'll feel thirsty faster and faster, and your risk of kidney failure will skyrocket. It's a quick trip to a worse situation, not a solution. Number 5, punching a shark to scare it away. This is another one straight out of Hollywood. You're in the water, a shark is circling, and you're told to go for the eyes and the gills, or punch it on the nose. The idea is that you'll hurt the shark, and it will swim away, scared and defeated. This is a terrible strategy for a few reasons. First, a shark's nose isn't some super sensitive button you can push to make it go away. It's a powerful, bony piece of cartilage. Punching it is like punching a wall. You're just going to hurt your hand. A shark's skin is also incredibly rough, like sandpaper. You're more likely to get scraped up than to cause any real damage. Second, if you're in a situation where you're close enough to punch a shark, you're already in a very bad spot. The real deal. If you encounter a shark, the best thing to do is stay calm and maintain eye contact. Back away slowly and deliberately. Don't splash or make sudden movements. If it gets too close, you can try to push it away with a hard object, but not with your bare hands. The goal isn't to hurt the shark, it's to signal that you are not a helpless prey animal. Number 4. Building a raft to escape an island. You're stranded on an island, you think, I'll build a raft and float to safety. It seems like the plot of a great adventure movie. You spend days building a makeshift raft, and you push off into the open ocean. This is a classic all-or-nothing survival mistake. The ocean is incredibly vast and unforgiving. A small homemade raft is no match for the currents, tides, and waves. You could be pulled out to sea and never found. You'll have no way to steer or navigate. The sun will dehydrate you quickly, and without a reliable way to get fresh water, you're facing a quick and painful end. The raft itself is probably not seaworthy. It could fall apart, leaving you stranded in the middle of nowhere. The real deal: stay on the island. Search and rescue teams will be looking for you, and it's much easier for them to find a person on a stationary island than a tiny raft floating somewhere in the ocean. Use your energy to build a shelter, find water, and create a signal. Use bright clothing, build a signal fire, or create a giant SOS sign on the beach. Staying put gives you a much higher chance of being rescued. Number 3. Running from lightning in an open field. A storm is coming and you're in a wide open field. The thunder starts and your instinct is to run for the nearest tree or shelter. You think if you can just get to a different location, you'll be safe. Running in an open field during a thunderstorm is probably the worst thing you can do. Lightning is unpredictable. It strikes the highest point, and if you are the highest thing in an open field, you're a prime target. Even if you don't get a direct strike, a lightning bolt can create ground current which can travel through the soil and electrocute you. A tree is not a safe place either. Lightning often strikes the tallest object, and the current can then travel down the tree and jump to you. Being near a tree makes you a part of the lightning's path. The real deal. If you're caught in an open field during a storm, the best thing to do is to get low. Don't lie flat on the ground as this increases your contact with the ground current. Instead, squat down with your feet together, hands over your ears, and your head tucked down. This minimizes your height and reduces your contact with the ground. Stay away from trees, fences, and metal. Number 2, lighting a fire inside a cave for warmth. It's cold. You find a cave. You think, perfect, I'll build a fire inside to stay warm. It seems like a great idea. You're protected from the elements and the fire will keep you warm. This is a surefire way to get carbon monoxide poisoning. A cave, especially a small one, is an enclosed space with little to no ventilation. When you burn wood, it produces smoke and carbon monoxide, a colorless, odorless gas. In an open space, this gas dissipates harmlessly. In a cave, it fills the air you're breathing. Carbon monoxide poisoning can cause dizziness, headaches, and confusion. But in a small space, it can kill you quickly and silently. You won't even realize what's happening until it's too late. The real deal: never build a fire inside a cave. Find a sheltered area outside with good ventilation. If you absolutely have to use a cave for shelter, make sure the entrance is large and there is a clear airflow. Even then, it's safer to build your fire outside and rely on a good sleeping bag or insulated clothing to stay warm. A fire is a tool, not a full-time heat source in a survival scenario. Number 1, following a river to find civilization. This one sounds so logical. You're lost, you see a river, and you think, rivers always lead to towns and people. It's a natural conclusion. The water flows downhill, and that's where civilization usually is. The reality is far more complicated and dangerous. First, rivers don't always flow in a straight line. They can meander for hundreds of miles, often through impassable terrain like deep canyons, waterfalls, or dense swamps. Trying to follow a river can lead you into dangerous situations you could have easily avoided. You could end up trapped on a cliff or forced to make a treacherous crossing. You'll waste a huge amount of energy trying to navigate this difficult terrain. Second, rivers can be a source of dangerous pathogens. Drinking from a river without purifying the water can lead to serious diseases like Giardia or E. coli. You'll get sick and dehydrated, which makes your survival situation 100 times worse. The real deal. Don't blindly follow a river. Instead, find a high vantage point to get a sense of your surroundings. Look for landmarks, smoke, or other signs of human activity. The best strategy is to stay in one place and wait for help. You'll conserve your energy, and it's much easier for a search and rescue team to find one stationary person than a moving one. So there you have it, 8 common survival tips that are more likely to get you hurt or killed than to save you. Survival isn't about magical quick fixes or things you saw in a movie. It's about common sense, knowing the real science, and staying calm under pressure. Next time you hear one of these myths, you'll know exactly what to do. Remember to always prioritize real evidence-based knowledge over what you see on TV. Stay safe out there, and we'll see you in the next video.